right, all right. All right. So so my name is Grace Nzula. I am a consultant and trainer with Atara Solutions. Atara Solutions is a HR consultancy and training firm. And if you're here and you need training done for your organizations, or you're looking for a HR consultant to support you, or you're also looking for HR, maybe you run a small organization and you don't want a HR full-time, we also provide HR manager outsourced as a service. All right, so on Get It Right with Atara Solutions, this is a webinar series that takes place every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And our mission is to change the world through information, our mission and our vision is to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. I am wondering why I am not able to share my screen today. I don't know what's happening. Oh dear Lord. Okay. All right. So this is Get It Right with Atara Solutions. And we do this in partnership with a number of organizations. And I was trying to share screen so that I can share that. I don't know, for some reason, I'm not able to share screen. Or rather, my screen is not able to see the PowerPoint. I don't know why. But yeah, we do this in partnership with a number of organizations. We have Balcon Housing. Balcon Housing is a real estate and property management company. They're in the business of selling and buying land. If you have a piece of land that you wish to sell, Balcon Housing can do that for you. If you're looking for a piece of land to invest in, they have quite a number for you. And then if you own a place or a building and you're looking for a property manager, then Balcon Housing would give you that service. And then we have Stallion Construction Company. Stallion Construction Company, like the name spells it, is a construction firm. If you're looking to renovate your house, your office, you're looking to subdivide, you're looking to put blinders, you're looking to change tiles, you're looking just to do everything that is construction related in your office or your home, then Stallion Construction Company will be able to do that for you. And then we have Pathway Solution Services. Pathway Solution Services is a training company. They have been offering our followers a free training on their LMS. LMS is a learning management system where you log in and you train self-paced. You actually train yourself, and they've been offering our followers free trainings every week, and they have a package for you tonight as well. So keep it here. I have seen oh yeah, so Millicent says, I have done one on the process of going to the second one. So yes, I wish you very much luck. I have seen Modesta, I finished 4 courses with Pathway Solutions, 3 more to go. Excellent, excellent. And I know quite a number of people have been able to benefit from this training. So thank you so much, guys, for the feedback, and we are loving the testimonials that you're sending as well. And then we have so Pathway Solutions, they offer free training for organizations. They do that through Zoom or Google Meets. And they actually have an offer for us. 10 organizations will get to be trained for free next, I think in the month of September, but the winning will happen today. And then we have the Institute of Pension Management. Institute of Pension Management, like the name spells it as well, they manage pension for people. They also run a college. Institute of Pension Management offers CHRP courses. If you're an HR professional on this call and you're looking to do your CHRP course, then you can join Institute of Pension Management. They are located on Ojijo Road, also quite accessible, especially if you're coming from town in Westlands. But more so, it doesn't matter whether you're in Nairobi or not. They have online learning for your CHRP. So Institute of Pension Management, if you manage pension as well and you want to grow your career in pension management, or you're here and you're wondering, what do I do with pension for my staff? Then we can link you up with the consultants at Institute of Pension Management, and they can be able to support you on that. And then we have Fina Gardens. Fina Gardens is a resort located in Naivasha. They have an offer for people who, for our followers. So if you go to Fina Gardens Resort in Naivasha along Moi South Lake, you can just mention my name and you'll be able to get a 10% discount. And if you book for the month of August, the month of August, you book 2 nights, they'll give you the third one for free. And all you need to do is just drop my name. And then we have Panessa Training Institute. This is a carpentry training school. If you're in this call and you would like to train yourself on woodworking, then we have people who are following their passion. We have Saturday classes, we have weekday classes, and we also have private classes where we adjust the classes according to your availability. So Panessa Training Institute is a carpentry or woodworking college. And then we have WeClean. WeClean is a carpet cleaning company. WeClean have a machine that cleans your carpet within 6 minutes. They offer free delivery and free pickup if you're in Nairobi. And they actually do 24-hour delivery. Can you imagine that? So imagine they pick your carpet today, tomorrow you'll have it back sparkling clean, smelling so fresh and nice. Oh my God. And then we have Kapula Mintito. Kapula Mintito deal with coastal snacks like cashew nuts. They have awesome. I swear I've never tasted mabuyu that good. And then they also have CMOS gel. For those of you who know CMOS, you know the advantages, yeah? And then they have honey and all that. So if you're in Mombasa, they'll do a delivery for you. But if you're in Nairobi, they can also organize, or any parts of the country, they'll organize a delivery for you. And then we have the Career Management Center. Career Management Center is a HR company. They have a program where they support moms who've taken a break to go for their families. Imagine. So if you're here and you want to jump back into employment and you don't know how to go about it, Jane runs a very, very good program for those who are bouncing back into employment after taking a break, and she calls it Moms or something. Yeah, anyway, I'll find the name. But yeah, so thank you so much for that. And tonight we are discussing elections preparedness. And I want you to tell me just on the chat, what does it mean? What are you looking forward to? And especially for those who are tuned in from Nairobi, what exactly are you looking forward to? And I know I am just about to introduce our speaker, but I want to know, out of curiosity, what are you guys really looking forward to? And what are you looking to learn? What are you to learn, I mean? And elections, are you scared? Where are you with this, with the elections as of now? I'm just trying to get a hold of our speaker's profile as I wait for your comments. Hotspots in Nairobi, the do's and don'ts during this period. Okay. Please keep engaging on the chats. What are you expecting? Security updates. Okay. Keep them coming. Annette is the security sector board chairperson at KEPSA. Gosh, my computer today it is doing me a number. Anyway, all is not lost. Okay. Anyway, so I think in the interest of time, okay, fine. Finally, it has respected my wish. All right, so tonight our speaker is none other than Annette Kimitei, and I apologize that I'm taking longer. I don't know, my laptop today is just misbehaving. Annette Kimitei is a multiple award winner. She has won 4 awards in the past 4 years. She's a she has won Strategic Management of a Private Company Award, Outstanding Security Director, Outstanding Female Security Professional, Positive Role Model for East Africa. She's currently the Managing Director at Senaka East Africa, and then Chairperson, KEPSA Security Sector Board. She's among the first female board in Protective Security Industry Association. She's the founder and director of Women in Safety Excellence. And then she's also the founder at Private Security Training Academy. She's a member in a number of organizations. She sits in 1,000,001 boards, and my God, she has won, and oh God, I can't even finish reading this. She has made quite some tremendous impact in the security industry. She has been a champion for gender diversity, part of PSRA Curriculum Development Committee. I mean, Annette has so much under her heart, my God. But the most interesting part, she's a lover of art who has adopted a number of wild animals. She loves to laugh and available as a speaker and guide and friend. So yeah, that is, I hang out on the other part, the friend part. And, and I am just very excited that I can call her directly. So yeah, okay. So I am reading the charts. They're looking for employee support during this period, employee well-being, peace after elections, tallying of votes at county level. Okay, so I'm sure Annette will attempt, she's a security expert, so she'll attempt to answer most of your questions. But Annette, you know, I can talk forever. And I know my people here are wondering, Grace, can you just let Annette come? I mean, surely it was not your day. You're not the speaker today. So allow me to respect that. And right, please tell us what.
All right, you have muted yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was saying, please tell us how to get prepared for this general election.
Sawa sawa. So first of all, Grace, thank you so much. In the introduction, I told you to just cover the first 4 parts, but clearly you read all through. I'm very excited. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Atara, friends and family of Atara. You're doing an incredible job. As WISE, as Senaka, we love you, we follow you. We attend a number of your sessions every Tuesday, and I must salute you for the incredible job you're doing, not only in HR, but across many sectors. As you've heard, my name is Annette Kimitei, and I'm the Managing Director of Senaka East Africa. I am also part of the National Steering Committee of an initiative in KEPSA called Mkenya Daima. I'll speak briefly about that. So what I just want to confirm is, Grace, are you able to see my screen?
Absolutely. I can see Senaka. I love Senaka, yes.
We are purple. We call ourselves the royalty of security. That's a topic for another day. Yes. Today we are talking about election preparedness, and I have quite some track to cover, but I'll try my best to do it in good time. So of course, first, just going back to the past is 2007, 2008. What did the election violence, teach us? Is of course, we lost billions in property. So many homes were damaged, and 1,133 lives lost. And some of these figures actually change. Some go as far as 1,300 if you even consider the cases of what happened in the recent past, like Baby Pendo, who was hit by a stray bullet, and that case has never been resolved. But not just looking at the numbers of 1,133. Remember, these are our brothers, these are our sisters. This was somebody's child who was hacked to death. This was a child witnessing their mother or sister being raped. So it's not just looking at the numbers, it's looking at the effects, which is, to date, there's a child who has not been able to go to school or enjoy a good life because they missed a parent or they went through such trauma out of what they witnessed in 2007. Again, IDPs, 600,000. And what we sometimes forget as Kenyans is a good number of these IDPs have never been settled to date. Billions of losses in terms of livelihoods. There were people who were not able to provide, their shops were burnt, their crops were stolen. And even looking at anyone who might not have been, affected, like the shops burnt, but out of fear, 80% of people in the hotspots area had their businesses affected. And as a result, World Bank reports that for an economy that has been growing at a very impeccable rate, we dropped from 6.85% to 0.23. So, as KEPSA, these are also part of the things that we are monitoring. And looking at what have been the consequences of violence is we've seen, shortage of essential commodities. We find, lack of access to medical facilities. We find transport is disrupted. Schools are already disrupted. I saw the joke Kenyans today were saying that, schools in Kenya ni kama ile makofi ya kilo. Those days of Moi, where ni kufunga na kufungua. And I think even out of COVID, again comes this other disruption, whether it's to businesses, whether it's to schools. A lot of panic and anxiety. And I'm sure our partners, our delegates today who are listening to this webinar, is because we cannot help but have a state of anxiety, especially after the last few weeks. Some of the exchanges that we've seen on media are really causing that panic and anxiety. Of course, there's the civil unrest, the clashes, the violence to family and staff, and God forbid, I remember in 2007, both from a personal perspective and also from a business perspective. From a business perspective, as Senaka, we really suffered, and I'm happy some of our members have joined us here today. But in 2007, of course, where our security guards live, they live in the informal settlements, Kibera, Kawangware, Mukuru. And you know what happens with one of those houses? One house is burnt and the whole row of houses is burnt. And now we had to get into a situation where we were not just looking at securing our clients' premises. It now became an issue of even having to accommodate our staff and their families at our training centers because their houses were burnt. Some of them lost certificates, school certificates. So a very, very difficult time. And from a family perspective, and I'm actually hoping my mom is here, I may not be able to see all the participants, but my mom is a very brown lady. When you look at her, you just know straight away, this one is from Central. My father is that one you call tall, dark, and handsome. You look at him like this, this one is definitely from Rift Valley. But never in Annette's life had I ever thought that this would be a problem. And in 2007, we were deep in the heart of Eldoret in the village. And, that's where you know that you're always safe. And we would turn on the left and you see, fire, Moshi, you turn to the right. And these are people we knew whose houses were being burnt. And even as we tried to help them as a family, we were also now all victimized. And it took us such a struggle just to get from the village to Nairobi. Almost took us 7 days, because you go to a place and they see your mom and they tell mzee, huyo mama ni nyekundu sana, rudisha ye kwa nyumba. Meaning she's Kikuyu and she's not able to pass. You go to another place, we've hidden my father under the car, under the seats, and you're not able to pass. So a very difficult time, and I'm sure some of you have even more traumatizing stories. I remember seeing Nairobi and feeling like, wow, now I've reached heaven, finally, after landing at the airport. So a lot of disruption too, whether it's family, staff, organizations, and so many people asking for leaves and offs, transfers, hate speech on social media, and just looking at our nation's reputation. Kenya is one of those countries that's really respected in the world, really respected in the continent of Africa. But sadly, from a security perspective, terrorism and elections have really given us a bad reputation. So these are just some of the consequences, and I know you know them. So as Senaka, what have we done? And this is what I'm challenging all of us to do, which is peace building. So throughout the year, we have been working at our peace building initiatives, which is number one. We call ourselves Senakarians. So me as a Senakarian, I am a peace champion. All my security officers in their thousands are peace champions. And we do this in the basic training they undergo when they come to our training school in Karen, when we go for what we call Timam parades, which is at 5:45 a.m. or p.m. We go very early before they take the shifts, and we talk to them about peace and peaceful campaigns. We have also engaged our clients in numerous meetings and numerous trainings, just like this one. We've also engaged with government. As we speak, we know the contacts of OCPDs, OCSs, chiefs, village elders, anyone and everyone who can come in to be able to support us in the peace initiatives. We've engaged with KEPSA, as you've heard, I'm part of Kenya Daima, and other stakeholders. And then finally is definitely, in security, we say, we hope for the best. We prepare for the worst as we hope for the best. And that is why we have to do our contingency planning. And our contingency planning is in 4 scenarios. So scenario 1 is elections have happened on 8th, on 9th, we are back to work, back to school, back to life. That's why it's in green, smooth elections. The second one, which is highly likely, is isolated incidents. Their usual Kenyan hotspots where, they must make noise here and there. If they haven't, elections didn't happen. So that's what we call isolated incidents, and that's in yellow. Then we have the third scenario, whose likelihood is also slightly high, which is regional disturbance, where you look at regions like Rift Valley, you look at Nairobi. These are now what you call regional disturbances. And then finally, what we do not want in this nation at all, but is likely because we've seen it before, is what we call a national catastrophe. We've just left one of COVID the other day with lockdowns, and this is what we must try as a nation and even as partners tonight to be able to avoid. But my presentation will cover all scenarios, which is we are hoping for peace, we are preaching peace, we are practicing peace. But from a security perspective, you know that we always have to prepare. So I also want to prepare you for that. So we start with a very simple part one, which is how do we stop all this? It is very simple. You be the peace champion, I be the peace champion. Then we no longer have to discuss elections as a country. We don't have to waste so much time in the fear and anxiety, spending so much money just in the preventative measures. Imagine if each and every Kenyan was that peace champion who says, tusibleed ndio walid. For every stone that must be thrown, may we deny these politicians that hand. May we deny them, the politicians, that hand that actually takes the stone and throws it, or takes the panga and the rungu against their fellow Kenyans. So let's be the peace champions. I love this quote by Albert, which says, peace is the only battle worth waging. If there's a battle, if there's a war to have, let it be peace. I love that quote. And as you heard, I'm part of the National Steering Committee of Kenya Daima, which is an initiative under KEPSA that came out as a result of the 2007-2008 elections. And as Annette, this is my message to the country, that mimi ni Mkenya Daima. Mimi ni Mkenya Daima before elections, mimi ni Mkenya Daima during elections, na mimi ni Mkenya Daima even after elections. Even if the elections will be contested, and I have to sit and wait at home, I will do it peacefully. And as I even tell the youth, because as Mkenya Daima, we've engaged all presidential aspirants. We've asked them to sign the peace pledge. We've given them economic manifestos. We've engaged, just this week and last week, we've been engaging the Boda Association, because you know how volatile the youth are, and particularly Boda. We've been engaging the youth. And my message has been, you and I have a responsibility to ensure peaceful elections. Let's make our future grandchildren. When I tell the youth future grandchildren, is you don't have children, leave alone grandchildren, but in future they are going to be there. Let us make them proud of our actions today. So mimi ni Mkenya Daima, nitatenda wajibu wangu. As Senaka, so there's what you can do as an individual, as Annette is doing that, as KEPSA is doing that, as the government is doing that. There's a responsibility you can do. There's also a responsibility you can do as an organization. So you have your role in peace building, which is number one, to make that personal commitment. Number two, desist from inflammatory utterances. Annette says, if you feel you are going to say something nasty, something hurtful, we chukua glass ya maji, kunywa hiyo maji baridi, gargle it in your mouth, swallow it and leave. Do not utter that word that will be able to make your colleague feel, you know what, I think you have a problem with me and I'll show you how. Peace messaging in our organizations. Right now, I know here we have many HRs. If you go to offices, you're just told social distancing, mask, wash hands, and I'm asking, I know COVID is here, but what peace messaging are we having? Are we telling our people to wear their masks in their mouths so that if you have bad words to say, where will I your mask? Are we telling them to wash their hands and their hearts, even as we prepare towards election? Are we asking them to social distance against crime and insecurity? Step away from that danger and step away from the chaos. So peaceful messaging in our organizations. Share your values. Discuss with your family. Instead of putting that news that talks about all this hateful speech, turn that conversation around with your children and tell them that this country is beautiful, that we are blessed with so many tribes, that we come from a heritage of kings and queens, that as a nation, we have so many positive things, and not creating this narrative. Find partners. As you are a peace champion, make your neighbor another peace champion. Even in your village, in your estate, in the resident association, come together and be partners. As I said, do you know the name and the number of your area chief? Chief, that person can save your life. Do you know the local OCPD, OCS, or even police? Do you know the village elder? Find these partners. Speak to them about peace and elections, and then elect peaceful leaders peacefully, as you also obey the rule of law. I would really hate it to come and hear that somebody in Atara was arrested for election offenses. That would be really bad. Part 2. So part 1 was very simple. Peaceful elections, your role as a peace builder. Now we go to part 2, which is focusing on you and your family. What should you do to be able to prepare? So number 1 is stock up. Remember, Annette told you, we prepare for the worst as we hope for the best. And I'm not coming to tell you that, no, everything will be good, everything will be peaceful. I am still running a security association. I am still the chair of KEPSA Security Sector Board. I am still also a governing council member of WISE. And I'm telling you that it's always good to be prepared. Stock up on your food, have your money, cash at home. We'll go to that. Load up your airtime. Don't just say I have the money in the bank, or I have online banking, or I have M-Pesa. Have your airtime, have your cash, hard cash. Be vigilant in some of these crowded places, and avoid vocalizing your political affiliations in public. That's why Annette says, when you feel you have something bad to say, take that cold glass of water, drink it, gargle it. By the time you're putting it down, you have already removed those negative sentiments, and probably walk out of the room, walk out of that scenario, instead of sometimes, passing on your own views that could land you in problems, that could create that which is called hate speech. Again, sometimes we forget our role in voting. It is our role, our right to vote. So don't forget your registration documents. Don't forget to verify your polling station on IEBC. Don't forget to, not wear those t-shirts of one political party or the other. You'll be kicked out. By the way, you'll not be allowed into the polling station. There's a lot to do from that perspective. But from a security perspective, look out for unattended luggages. I know we have not been hit by Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda of late, but that doesn't mean that we are entirely safe. And it doesn't mean that, in that bag, you cannot lack a machete or you cannot lack a bomb. So be on the lookout for these unattended luggages or suspicious items within the vicinity. Also be careful of people who wear very many baggy things, because you find those are the ones who are able to hide a machete or a knife or a stone. Also, don't park your car very, inside the polling station or very close to, because as people try to leave, God forbid if there's going to be that scenario, it becomes very difficult, and you'll probably have to leave your car there. So if skirmishes happen around the polling center, park your car at a distance where you can be able to run and go and get it, and it will get you home. Again, avoid arguments or fights with rival party supporters. And again, just like a Githeri man, carry your Githeri that day, because you are not allowed to be selling anything, bananas, etc. at the polling station. So you carry your Githeri. I think we'd already covered the consequences of violence. Earlier, I'll not go into this. So what I want to go to is, remember we had mentioned that sometimes violence causes disruption in even getting this basic supply. So what should you as an individual have? Number 1 is we project 3 weeks. When you look at, very serious scenarios, others project 3 months. But for me, I would advise you plan ahead for 72 hours to 3 weeks, just in case of those violent scenarios. What do you need? You need your food, you need your water, you need your medication, you need your first aid kit. So if you're hypertensive or you have hypertensive members of the family, you have people with blood pressure, you have people with diabetes, you have people who are asthmatic, project 3 weeks to 3 months. Get your first aid kit. And for some reason, I've never understood. How do you have a fridge? How do you have a TV? And you don't have a basic first aid kit? 1,000 shillings in every home. It's a basic, not even for elections. Anytime you should have some of these items. Then prepare your emergency survival kit. We'll go to that. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're a man or a woman, if you have daughters, if you have a wife, if you have a mother, do not forget the sanitary towels. These are basic essentials. And then ensure that your personal items such as cash are both in the Kenyan currency. And if you're a foreigner, also have it in foreign currency available. In terms of communication, stock up your airtime. Let your phone have the airtime, not the money for the airtime, actually the airtime. If you remember 2007, you used to use scratch cards. As a security company, we suffered because for us, two critical things to run a security company is communication and mobility. And you know, those two were really interrupted. So stock up on your airtime right now. Get your power bank or that spare battery. Have that mulika mwizi, Nokia 3310, ile battery yenye, ile simu yenye hata ikianguka kutoka 5th floor, kana amkanga na kainaendelea na maisha. Have your cash reserve. Remember, even the M-Pesa agent may have closed shop that day. So don't say I have an ATM or I have online banking. Have some cash reserve. As much as, of course, you'll have some float on M-Pesa and some float on your mobile app or on your online banking platform. Again, communication, have your Wi-Fi or your data, buy it for a period of at least those 3 weeks. And even as we speak Wi-Fi, also have that Netflix and chill. You know, you kind of need to be keeping busy, whether you are reading a book, an ebook, or watching movies. It also reduces that panic and tension. Something most Kenyans forget, which is a key communication tool, is a whistle. Let me tell you, when you are screaming, these voices run out. Some of you have no voice even to scream. Some of you, when danger comes, is when the voice disappears. A whistle is 50 bob. Go and get it. Remain vigilant at all times so that you can be able to communicate to your members of the family, to your colleagues on what you see. And then I keep saying, drink your water, avoid vocalizing or communicating your opinion so much during this period. Campaign ilikuwa, sasa tunaenda elections, everyone to keep their opinions to themselves. Sometimes even between husband and wife. If you feel this is what is going to cause some war in the house, shh, drink your water, tulia. For your home, what do we do? Number one is sometimes we take care of the house and we forget the people in the house. So your family is the most important item in that house. So ensure your family is safe. If you know that even by virtue of your last name, the family is unsafe, your children are unsafe, your wife is unsafe, your father is unsafe, this is the right time to be able to take them home. As you've seen, even the education ministry has asked that children go home early because some of them know maybe you need to come to Nairobi for your father to plan the trip to the village. Ensure your family is safe. Look at areas of your home security. Gates, windows, grills, alarms, padlocks. Are they working? Is the key even there? Those basics that we always forget of your home security. Look at your CCTV. Is it working? Are you able to access it on mobile so that if you've traveled a country, you can still be able to see what is happening on your phone through the CCTV? Have you tested your alarm with your security provider so that you press this button to ensure that surely within the 10 minutes that you have in the SLA, they're able to show up and give you backup? So look at your home security. One of the things that people always forget in home security is the wall. That wall, we always have a habit of leaving boxes and stones just against the wall, makes it very easy for anyone to be able to climb. So look at your wall, look at, do you have an electric fence, for example, and remove, get away some of these tools that can be used against you, like ladders and gardening items. And then things that people in Nairobi sometimes forget, stima inapoteanga, KPLC can let you down. So what do? Get the torches, the flashlights, the candles, the solar lanterns. I would prefer solar lanterns. I'm all about saving the environment. Charge them now. Have them ready. And remember one thing, even as we speak lighting, even if it's a thief. No thief knows your house better than you. You should always, if things go wrong, switch off the lights, because that one also, prevents the perpetrator from even knowing exactly where you are located. So look at the doors, the locks, and all that. Discuss with your family and friends, what are the safety protocols? For example, I'm in essential services, I'm in security, so I have to go to work. So do I tell my husband that after every 2 hours, I'll send you a message just telling you I'm okay? What are these family and friends safety protocols? If you are expecting your children, and you must give a cut-off point and say you must be home by 5. If you're not home by 5, then make sure you have given a call. Let me know where you are at any point. And then emergency contacts. Sometimes we make a mistake of having the emergency contacts here. These phones can fall, they can drop, they can get damaged, they can get stolen. Have at least 5 emergency contacts in your head. And not all your family members, like your father, mother, sister, brother. Stagger them, that you know a colleague in the office, your control room, the police. Have those emergency contacts here, because you can also be caught in together as a family and you are not able to assist each other. And then I think I talked about engaging your community and then talking to your security provider. Talking to organizations like Senaka to tell them, come and look at my organization. How safe are we? Do we need a backup? Because right now, some of the services that our clients are asking for are additional dogs, additional security officers, temporary officers. People are asking for the vehicles, what we call the mobile response vehicles. Some are hiring for a day, some are hiring for a week, others are hiring for a month. So talk to your security provider. And they can also be able to do a proper risk assessment, which not only includes your organization.
Hi, I think we have lost Annette. I have not frozen her. I think we lost her. Polycarp, it has beaten each other. And this is what Annette was talking about anything can happen at any time, yeah? But I'm sure she will be back. And from you, yeah, it is network that's definitely a problem. Let me put on my video. Oh, okay, she's back. Oh, yeah. Right. So I was going to ask, okay, Annette, you can go ahead. I was about to ask the audience something.
All right, sincere apologies. Are you able to see my screen? I've lost my connection.
It's starting to,
yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Kevin confirms he can see it. So I think this is where we lost each other, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it is.
So, all right, in your survival kit, make sure you have these items: food and water. Food that requires very little preparation and refrigeration. So whether it's the packed foods, whether it's the crackers that we don't like, but they are high energy foods, some warm clothing for you and your children, the basic first aid kit, and even right now, start stocking up. So if it's water, you will normally have 1 bottle of water, add a second bottle of water, add gas. If you normally have a big gas, add a Meko, just in case there is that disruption. Important documents, by the way, this applies again in all disasters. Some of the things that people forget is please scan all your critical documents And by critical documents, I mean ID, passport, immunization cards for the children, driving license, marriage certificate, birth certificate. Scan these things and send them to you another different email. Can be your email, can be your relative or somebody you really trust, to keep that data for you. Of course, again, I really apologize. I'm trying to change all networks. I don't know what's happening today. My apologies again. Back, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. So if we reach a scenario where I was going to, the first scenario is peaceful elections. The second one is pockets of disturbances. Number 3 is regional disturbances, where you're talking of what we call provinces. And then the fourth is national catastrophe. So when you come to the last two, regional disturbance and national catastrophe, this is what is likely to happen. We work very closely with the National Disaster Management Unit. We've been their partner discussions, preparing the contingency plans. So number 1, they will be able to announce so that you need to evacuate, like what they did last time in parts of Rift Valley and other places. So when you are instructed by the police or NDMU to evacuate, you should. But there are scenarios where even leaving your house, already there are people outside there waiting for you. So sometimes it is safer to remain inside. And you'll get this information through broadcast, so phone, on email, or even on mainstream media. There's always something I like to say, which is God gave us a very strong instinct as human beings. There's that feeling sometimes you have, or you probably are having at the moment, that by the way, I feel like things could go bad. I need to make 1 or 2 decisions. I always like to believe in acting on my instinct or my gut. So should you feel it wise to do so, please evacuate. Start these plans now. If the government orders you to evacuate, number 1, secure your home. Number 2, carry your survival kit. And we've already covered what is in your survival kit. Travel to the specified location. Ujuaji our Kenya, the government tells you, please don't go here. And that is exactly where you are going to go. Let us respect, because when government gives you a specified location, they're also having security arrangements in some of those situations, in some of those locations. They've been able to send, whether it's medical supplies, the police, transport, etc. Some of the people who lost their lives in 2007, 2008 is caused to familiar spaces. And some of those, you remember, were churches. And when they went to the churches, I think you remember there was a church that was burned. So go to the specified area we've been told to go. And if you are unable to move, also notify the police. Specify, I am in this particular place, in this particular estate, in this particular house, ground floor. And do not return home until the police advise. Naturally, instinctively, we want to always go home, but please do not return home until the police advise you, because they have more intelligence than some of us also have, and it's good to respect that. Now, let me speak about an important thing, which is, so you're in your safe shelter. What should you do? Of course, is close and lock all windows and doors, have your alarm activated, go to your safe haven. As I mentioned, in every house, there's always a safe place. It could be under the bed, it could be in the wardrobe, it could be in a particular room. Identify that safe haven and try and secure it. Again, have your family emergency kit. And I always, because I have many clients, including multinational clients, even pets, have your plan. And when I say pets, I don't mean the cows and the chickens. I mean the dogs and the cats. Have a plan for them. And then listen to the police updates, even as you are in your safe shelter. Now, a critical component of our preparedness plans is the children. You need to talk to your children about emergencies. Remember their age and the appropriateness of that conversation. But it doesn't matter even if this child is 3 years. Just give them a small hint of, in case this happens, this is what we are going to do. This is the room you are going to go to. This is the number. And I love what other parents do, which is they take a permanent marker and even write their telephone numbers on their children's sleeves or even on their backs. God forbid if you are separated, that let the children be aware of some of these scenarios. So start building this conversation. You don't just wake up and shock them with news, but start building that conversation. It could be useful today, It could be useful tomorrow when there's an earthquake. It could be useful tomorrow when there's a terror alert. But let's start talking to our children, because some of the trauma that we caused during COVID was not discussing anything with children. So they were just hearing, people are dying and dying and dying. And if they even saw you coughing or sneezing, they were so scared that you're actually going to die. So again, talk to your children about these emergencies. Explain to them when to call for help. Practice those family evacuation drills regularly. Let it just be part of your life. If you don't get anything out of this talk, is that family evacuation drills and family security drills should be a meeting, the way you have a board meeting in the house and you allocate roles and you give contingency plans. Do that. And then ensure that the children start practicing the routine. You say, so if this door is banged, which door are you going to, what are you going to do next? And be able to plan that out. And then help the children, let the children also help you put the survival kit together, because when they do, they'll always know what are the components. And if their medicine is in there, if they're asthmatic or otherwise, they know exactly where to get it. What would be the evacuation plan for your family? If you have a vehicle, make sure it is fully sized, fully fueled, you have spares, it is rainy time. Number 2, put your survival kits in a backpack. If you've seen the people in Russia, and in Ukraine, is they always have a backpack. That backpack has those things we had talked about. Because there are times when it comes to, push or shove, just have that backpack that has your very, very basic essentials and survival kit. Again, make copies of important documents. We've gone to that. I always advise that you take photos of family members. Remember that, again, has really helped the people in Ukraine. When you are separated and you're able to show a photo, it is easier for a soldier or your fellow Kenyan to say, no, I saw this child going this way. It is easier to be able to bring your family together. Agree on a meeting place. So you say, if skirmishes happen in Nairobi and in this particular area, find us in Ushago at this particular area. People will always know that from here, this is what we are planning to, this is where we are planning to go. And then discuss safety tips for different hazards. Practice to meet and contact one another if you're not together. Make it a habit to check on each other right now. That if I've not heard from my teenage daughter, even though she said that they've gone for basketball, they are required. It is mandated that you must be able to call. You must be able to call within this period. You must be home by this period. We must lock the gate by this period. If you have pets, include them in the family drills. Of course, they'll not do much as pets. But again, remember, for some of our family members and even for our expatriates, their pets are very personal and you can actually get very traumatized with your pets. I lost my dog and I actually had to ask leave for Senaka, not only for myself, but also for my children. So if you have dogs or pets and you're very close to them, it's okay. If you don't, we also understand. And then let your family members all familiarize with your emergency preparedness plan. I think I'd mentioned that earlier. I'll not go into much about pets other than to mention that it's good for you to have, to consider also their water, their pellets, just an emergency, or if not, at least allocate a neighbor who can take care of your cows, who can take care of your chicken. They know where the food is, where the water is, etc. And beware. So if you're an international client, you know that in emergencies and when emergency evacuations are taking place, to get a flight out for your animals will be very difficult, if not impossible. So you do need to plan for your pets and their evacuation. And then again, back to the children. Remember that the calmer you are, the calmer they will be. We do not want to cause trauma or torture to our children by not discussing scenarios. Explain to them. Talk to them openly and honestly about what's happening. Explain to them the nature of the problem. And as it goes escalating, keep them informed. Do not dismiss their fears and anxieties. Because that is what happens with mental health. And I know even with Grace, we were discussing mental health and the impact. Some of these things stem from childhood fears that were unaddressed. So again, listen to them patiently, let them express themselves, watch what they are monitor what they're watching on TV or on social media, because some of the content can be very, very exposing, very even to digest. And then hugs and kisses do a lot. just to keep those children physically close gives them that sense of security. And then do not forget that even during these times, some of our children are raped or molested by even very close people to us. So let them not be even with strangers at this moment, but even when they're with familiar adults, look at the issues of SGV, gender-based violence, rape, and incest that also happens or happened in 2007. Part 3, as we go to business continuity, is why is this election very, very unique? Is because, and we know we've held elections ever since 1992, is because this is a transitional presidential election, different from what we had in 2013. So it's very highly emotive, divisive, and the twist is there are part of people, part of government that is in opposition and part of opposition that is in government. So this is a very unique period in 2022 where this scenario plays out. I know some of you had asked for hotspots, and I didn't want to go so technically security, but we do have hotspots even for Nairobi. Talking about criminal gangs and particularly these areas, Nakuru, Lamu, Mombasa, and Nairobi, we've seen an escalation in crime, and I'm sure you guys have noted there's a lot of theft, a lot of robberies this year, and I think it's a trickle-down effect from COVID and now coming into elections. But now remember, criminal gangs pose a threat in 2 ways. Number one is they will take advantage because they know you are home or businesses have been left unattended or you are anxious. So criminal gangs already pose that threat. The second threat is that they can be used to perpetrate violence. So again, going back to our scenarios, we look now, remember we are now tackling the final element, which is business continuity plans, which is we may have smooth elections, which is okay. We may have isolated incidents, we may have regional disturbance, or we may have national catastrophes. And what I'm asking you to do is also with the organization, have scenarios for each, because it is very dependent on, number one, your organization, number two, the sector you are in. So if you're in hospitality, it's very different from if you're in transport. It's very different from if you're in aviation. It's very different from if you are running a kiosk. So these scenarios are totally different dependent on the sector. Sectors are going to be affected in different ways. Look at the magnitude and scope. If you have 2 employees, if you have 200 employees, if you have 2,000 employees, look at the magnitude and scope of your, of your organization and the stakeholders. Look at the value chain, your suppliers, your clients, the other stakeholders that you need. Look at the transport system. So there's a lot to consider in the 4 likely scenarios. I may not delve into depth now. I don't want to become a technical security person and bore you with detail. But what we do in security is this is normally how we assess the threat level. So at green, at yellow, at amber, and at red, just as I'd mentioned earlier. But what we are looking at from a business perspective is the security threat level that will affect, number 1, trading. Number 2, freedom of movement. Number 3, communication. And then number 4, civil authority control. So they go building as the threats also go building. And I believe that is why we are talking about the BCPs, the business continuity plans. And what are the business continuity plans is for us to be able to prevent these incidences from occurring. And remember, I mentioned prevention starts with, number 1, even just having the conversation around, let me charge this. Great. The conversation around peace is one of the best ways of preventing incidences. And then again, minimizing disruption to your service delivery, not only to you, your clients, your staff, and other stakeholders. Your business continuity plan should be collaborative and all-inclusive. Sometimes management makes a problem of, a challenge of just sitting themselves and discussing by themselves, so they are the only ones with the plan. No, the T-girl needs to know what is your BCP. The security guard at the gate needs to know what is your BCP. Let it be collaborative, that it cuts across various departments and various sectors, and everyone feels, I belong, I have made my contribution, my interests have been taken care of as an individual, as a department, and even as I travel. Again, make sure it has senior management support, the BCP. Because often you'll find that it is maybe your security department that has an election preparedness plan, but management, the CEO and directors, they are not aware. And when they are not aware, they will not fund that program. And then let the staff understand that the organization has put their interests first in this BCP, that their interests are taken care of. Remember, after elections, you still need these employees. So look at the early warning signs to know how your BCP should be arranged. Are there physical attacks? Is there destruction to property? Are there disruption of campaign meetings in your locality? Is there presence of criminal gangs, as I'd mentioned earlier? Are there already those words that you can feel are already inflammatory? Have materials been circulated like what was circulated a few days ago in Rift Valley? Are there verbal threats from suspects? And then are there other covert acts where you can hear people are buying bows and arrows, people are sharpening pangas? Listen and identify what is the threat level. So that for us, we call situational analysis in security. Let's go very fast to the BCP. So of course, it starts with the situational awareness. It goes to the business continuity plan, where you're always looking at what is the most likely scenario. But even as these things should be confidential, but not secretive. Everyone in the organization should know, but that information should be kept close within the organization. And then identify and set up a crisis management team with a commander. We call them commanders. That particular person who will be charged by the organization to communicate. And even as they do that, ensure that the communication is centralized, that there's that mobile connectivity, there's internet, that you're working remotely. Today, we are able to talk to so many participants from all over the world, even by using such platforms as Zoom, etc. So ensure that even your facilities for remote meetings are available. I'll not delve much into this because I think I've covered it before, but I want to give you an example of, for example, how it's doing it. So for us, we involve the stakeholders right from our security guards very early on in the year. And we've had trainings. Actually, we had the last supervisors training just last Saturday. And even in the supervisors training, you'd be surprised. We covered not only the election contingency plans for the whole country, for various regions, and even for very specific clients. We also covered stress management, come out planning, personal financial planning, because God forbid the systems don't work and the money is not available for 2 months, for 3 months, for 6 months. How are you also going to be able to survive? We also covered things like in some buildings, in some hotels, some of our security officers will be hosted there for up to 3 weeks. The clients have already planned where they will eat, where they will sleep, how they will shower, and they were giving them extra allowances for them to be able to work. Because let's face it, their homes could be burned, the roads could be disrupted, and if you leave some of these places unattended, that is when you find that they've been robbed. So your scenario planning needs to be very, very specific to your sector. As I'd mentioned earlier, for us, countrywide, we have standbys, pre-trained people just doing nothing but waiting. In case there's an absenteeism, there's somebody who's going to replace them. We have food we've bought, we have fuel, we have our 5-acre training school is able to accommodate so many boarders, male and female boarders. We have tents. So again, it has to be specific to your organization. You need to also look at the issue of journey management, which is to restrict staff movements. As they move closer to the election date, try and not have these movements, because you can go to a place and not be able to come back. Ensure the vehicles are serviced and fully fueled. Their insurance is in check. Also check on, confirm where the checkpoints and roadblocks are, and then look at issues of staff welfare. For us, it's the rice, the beans, the wheat, all these to be kept in advance, just staff welfare, just in case things go bad. And then there's that bag, and I know we had discussed it earlier, that survival kit bag. So as I come to an end, I hope I've been able to share, what are the likely scenarios and all that. I come back to that quote of mimi ni Mkenya daima. Now, as you see down there, I've written, nitatenda wajibu wangu. Na wajibu wangu ni nini? For those who might not understand Swahili, forgive me, but Mkenya daima means forever Kenyan. I'm forever Kenyan before elections. I am forever Kenyan during elections. I am forever Kenyan after elections. And I, as Annette, you have a responsibility to be able to hand over a better nation to our children and great-grandchildren. So with that, I think I hand back to Grace.
Wow, Annette, that was quite informative. And I must confirm that Mom Naomi is actually on the call. Yeah, so we have quite a number of hands up. Agwins Rabala, we'll take a few questions because of time, of course. And for those of you asking about the recording, we will have it on our YouTube channel. For those of you who are asking for notes as well, you can actually watch it. You'll see what you've seen. So you can make your short notes from our YouTube channel. Agwins Rabala, or is it who? And Wafula Nabutola, your hand is up. Please ask.
Thank you. First, I just want to appreciate my chair, Annette Kimiteis. That is brilliant. And thank you. The whole of this country needs this kind of advice. We cannot prepare enough. We need to hear it over and over and do some. Remember, we were talking about not situational. What were we saying this morning? There's something about, scenario planning. Where
scenario planning.
Yes, I'm sorry. Really, we need to do this. And it's not a joke. And really, I'm very grateful, Madam, and Grace also for what you've shared. Can we share with the whole country? Well, those who matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very
Wafula.
much. I just want to thank you for that. Asante.
Okay. Asante sana Wafula. Evelyn Kemuma. Evelyn, your hand is up. We can't hear you, Evelyn.
Thank you so much, Grace, and thank you, Annette, for such a...
Yeah, but you have an echo.
Hello? Oh, I'm very sorry for that. Okay, thank you so much, Grace and Annette, for such a very for an informative session. And I was so much looking forward. I have learned a lot, and mine is just to say that such a discussion is so timely for Kenya. We cannot over-prepare, or we cannot prepare enough. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for that comment. Francisca Saina. Francisca Saina. Francisca Saina. All right. Okay. Then I guess we will move on. All right, Annette, that was quite an interesting and quite detailed presentation, and we really appreciate your sharing with us. And I just wanted to ask, what about those people who are what? Don't have, like, like in the slums, what are some of the safe areas, especially in Nairobi, maybe?
So first of all, let me acknowledge the presence of Mr. Wafula Nabutola. He is our part of the board members of the KEPSA Security Sector Board. And he's also part of the Committee of Election Preparedness for the country. He's been representing us in a lot of the engagements with the police. And just this morning, that was our key agenda. So you've asked a very vital question, like what are the safe havens in Nairobi? And I'll tell you the first, of course, is your home. So let's not be loitering around the roads. Let's be in our homes. We know that, of course, we have those settlements, and I wish but at the moment, none have been identified, or rather, unless WAF is able to confirm, what most people have as safe havens are their organizations, some churches, NGOs, as well as also as government will direct. But if you're to ask me that go to a particular place in Red Cross, no. Everyone is working towards peace. Because these are a moment. And remember, even as you have a safe house, from a security perspective, sometimes it poses the threat. There's a time in 2007, as I mentioned earlier, where you'd say the safe is the church, and the church in Moiben was attacked. You'd say it's a school, and the school was attacked. So these scenarios and the safe houses are also very dependent on the situation. And that's why it's always good to keep your ear on the ground, just listening to what also government is guiding us.
All right, all right. So allow me to mention this webinar is brought to you by Atara Solutions in partnership with Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Limited. And now for those of after the people are beginning to get anxious, Annette. How do we support people who are beginning to get scared and anxious?
We support them by, number one, being peace champions. That's why I said that is the most critical ingredient to peaceful elections. The conversation around peace in your home starts to calm the nerves of your children, of your family members, of your neighbors, of your community, of your church. So that peace messaging, because sometimes people fear what they don't know. They look at you, they think, oh, that person belongs to a different tribe, or that person thinks I'm going to be from the uptown, they're from the slums. The more you talk, and that is why the system of Nyumba Kumi is something that as a nation we need to embrace, the easier it is. So have that conversation as a peace champion, engage your community stakeholders, get to know who are the emergency contacts within your area. So whether it is that chief, whether it is that police, it gives you a lot of assurance, and it's easier for them to be able to respond if they know exactly where they are going to. And again, let's not forget that there are people who are still traumatized, even from COVID itself. They've not healed. Now you come and add on this pressure, and it just adds to that. And I think, Grace, we recently had a conversation again with WISE, and I'm glad our Vice Chair, Evelyn Kemuma, just asked a question, because mental health is a key focus for us as WISE for the next 1 year. But remember, there's still that child, that wife, that husband, that mother, whose child was killed in 2007, and they've not healed from those wounds. So this is an extremely traumatizing moment for them. Let's be able to talk to them, and those who need special help, it's also important for us to get them into therapy, just for them to be able to address that. Yeah.
Okay, and I think the last question is from Flexi Flights. What advice do you give a diaspora group to their families back home, especially in Nairobi?
Thank you. And I love that the diaspora is represented here. Very powerful message, which is, number one, a message of peace. Call them and find out how they are doing. Now with WhatsApp, we have no excuse not to call. Call and find out, how is your mother? How is your father? How is your brother? How is your sister? Where are they going to be based? Where are they voting from? Are they aware of the hotspots? What are their preparedness plans? Let's pass this message to as many people as possible. As Evelyn Kemuma has said, as Wafula Nabutola has said, the more people who have the awareness, the preparedness, the peace initiatives, the better. It doesn't matter whether you're in diaspora or not. Let's have this message in our social media. Right now, as we head towards elections, post your peace messages. Let people see you wherever you are in this world, that you are Mkenya Daima, that you respect this country, and that you still hold yourself accountable to be able to ensure there is peace. So there's a lot that the diaspora can be able to do, not only in preaching peace, but also ensuring the safety of their families, friends, and businesses from wherever we are, just as we discussed in the webinar.
All right, all right. I think allow us to just appreciate our partners, Pathway Solution Services. Kevin, I don't know whether you're able to share screen. Somehow my screen today has decided we are not doing this. So, okay, at least Kevin is able to. So we have share full screen, Kevin. My eyes are not the best. You want to read it out or do you want me to read out, Kevin? Kevin?
I can hear you. It's been a while. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Annette, for that. You've expounded it perfectly, and it has come in timely for everyone, me included. Today we have offers from one of our partners, Pathway Solution Services Limited. So for offer for each individual, either 3 people each, for 2 LMS training courses of your choice. That is from the screen I've shared. You can see we have 7 trainings. This one is subject to terms and condition, which is you as our viewer should send an email with your full name and that is for the registration purposes to grace@tatarasolutions.co.ke and copy Mr. Frank, who is Frank at pathwaysolutionservices.co.uk. Please remember to mark the terms and conditions. So for the other, we have the 3 offers. That is the first offer. The second offer is again as is on my screen. That is there's an offer for building a human-centric organization. This one is organizational. So again, you share your interest to Grace and copy Mr. Frank. Grace.
I'm here, Kevin. All right, so our people, you have heard the offers that we have for you. And Annette, I would like to extend one of the offers for corporate. He delivers this on Zoom or Google Meet or no, Teams. So as an organization to Senaka, I think we now have 9 offers. So 1 has gone to Senaka. Kevin, you can go back to the screen, the previous screen, page 2. Yeah, so we have building a human-centric organization, overcoming sales objection, conflict management, corporate governance, client relationship management, developing corporate behavior, call center training, customer retention strategies, and Pareto analysis. Those are the offers. So Annette, I can share this after this and you can choose whichever you want. And Frank will deliver that in the month of September or October. So for 2 LMS training courses of choice. Oh, okay. Frank, this is LMS, not virtual. Okay, it's actually virtual delivery via Zoom or Google Meeting in September or October. So yeah, for those of you who are here and you run organization, the contact details are on the chat. Please take advantage of these offers and have your teams trained. And for those who are getting the individual sessions, Kevin, go back to the individual offers. 3 of you will stand a chance to win the training, and these are working smarter using technology, social media for business, make your business better, anger management, problem solving and decision making, public speaking or making a presentation. Frank, we have a spelling mistake there. And then mastering job interviews. So for all of you who are here, 3 of you will stand a chance to get free training via LMS by Pathway Solution Services. And of course, 9 of you, because I've offered 1 to Senaka, will get an opportunity to have your teams trained by Frank, who is in the UK. And yes, we will be sharing the recording to this webinar on your emails. We will send a thank you, hopefully between the week. And please do let me know, do you guys think that it will be wise for us to have a session next Tuesday? What do you guys think? I would really, really love to hear your feedback on whether we can have a session next Tuesday, because I said we do this every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I'm just wondering whether we need a session during the elections day or not. Please do let us know whether we want to have something. I see people saying Monday. Okay, maybe not on a Tuesday. Okay, let's have it. All right. Everyone is saying not Tuesday, not Tuesday. Joy says yes, we can. Others are preferring Monday. Ooh, okay, so we'll see. I guess we can make adjustments to that. Or Sunday, or Monday or Wednesday. Okay, not Tuesday for sure. Okay, a lot of people don't want it on Tuesday, so then I guess on Tuesday we will be glued on our screens as we watch the live stream. Now, Annette, if you could come back and give us your closing remarks.
Thank you so much again, Grace and Atara, all the partners represented here, for the opportunity to just engage, learn from you. I've seen that able to tackle most of those issues. I know the time, this is something that you can cover in 3 days. So trying to cover it in 45 minutes is no joke, but you've also been an amazing audience. I want to salute my mom, and Naomi Kipkorir, who's joined us here today. I also want to salute members of the KEPSA Security Sector Board, Election Preparedness Committee, Disaster Risk Management Committee, as well as members from WISE and Senaka. These are my people, and they never let down. And Grace, let me tell you, you're doing an incredible job. Our HR manager does not let us sleep. She actually asks on Tuesday, who was there? You know, when she was talking about performance management. So you're doing an incredible job. Keep it up. You're blessing many Kenyans' lives. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Annette. If any of you on this call are looking for somebody to do your security assessment, or you're looking for somebody to do something about your security, install CCTVs, give you security systems, give you, you're looking for guarding services, then Senaka East Africa is will be able to give you support on that. And of course, if you're looking for somebody to give you talks in your organizations, I believe Annette can be able to do that with her team. She has an awesome team that has been running webinars on election preparedness, and she's able to do that, of course, at a fee. But yeah, we can always organize that, and of course, you can check out, I can be able to link you up with the team. So thank you very much. Kevin, I don't know whether I'm able to share screen now. I don't know what is happening with this laptop of mine. Of course, I can't. Our partners, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for for supporting us and making this happen. We have Balcon Housing, we have Stallion Construction Company Limited, we have Pathway Solutions, we have Institute of Pension Management. For all those HR professionals who are on this call, please join the Institute of Pension Management for you to be able to manage pension for your staff, for you to become a pension expert. By the way, there are people who are pension experts, and this is a very good opportunity for you, especially for those who are about to retire. And then Fina Gardens, for those of you who are looking to take a holiday, or you're running away to Naivasha, please. Fina Gardens Resort, please go and take advantage of the offer that Atara is given there. We have Panasa Training Institute, We Clean, Kapula Mintito, the Career Management Center, and Ames College of Business and Technology. So we appreciate you, our partners. Thank you very much for your support. We really couldn't do this without you. Of course, thank you very much, Annette. Thank you, the Senaka family, and everyone else who is here. Oh, finally, we have the... Yeah, Kevin was able to find it. All right, so thank you very much. Those are our partners, and we appreciate you, and any services that you may need from our partners, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us, and we'll be able to link you up with the experts. So yeah, we have seen the feedback, whether Monday or Tuesday. So quite a number of people don't think it's wise to have the session on Tuesday, so I guess we'll put that into consideration. This is very informative, especially work with youths and in a border financing industry. All right, so thank you very much, and you guys have yourselves a lovely evening. Kevin, I don't know whether you have a parting shot. Okay, sawa. So of course, thank you so much, Wise family. Thank you so much, all our followers. We really appreciate you. And for those of you who showed, oh, her contact, Annette, somebody is asking for your contact on the chat. Should I give your email address? She's probably
Yes,
on.
please go ahead. You can share my email address. My email address, okay, the spelling will be tough. It's ANNETTE.kimitei. So annette.kimitei@sanakaworld.com. But you can share with the person who's asked.
Your number or copy?
Both.
Okay, I was looking for copy. There we go. Okay, Kevin had already posted. It's on the chat. That's email for Annette. Who is this who was asking? Harriet, I'll also send you her number on your email after this. So, okay, will I even remember? Please put for me your email so that I can send that number. Or Harriet, if you have my number, please email me or yeah. So I've put Annette's email address. If you're able to get in touch with her, she'll also be able to share her number. So thank you so much, Annette. Thank you for sacrificing your dinner time and sharing with us the knowledge. I'm sure this has been helpful. Please, we will have this recording uploaded very soon. And when we do, please share it with your employees so that they can be able to become peace ambassadors and also know how to prepare going forward. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so much and have yourselves a lovely, lovely evening. Please follow us on Instagram at Ara Solutions, like our Facebook page at Ara Solutions. Ah, yeah, we forgot we had a Facebook family. Oh my God. I hope you guys did not ask questions. I forgot about you today. Grace Wanja, okay. So there is no question. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. We were live on Facebook. We are here on Zoom. So we appreciate your presence. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ara Solutions. And if you wish to join our WhatsApp group, Kevin is about to put up the link to our WhatsApp group on the chat. You can join us so that you are updated. Unfortunately, we are normally not able to send many emails nowadays. We are still working on that. But at least we send a thank you with the following week's webinar. But in case you're able to join our WhatsApp group, it's easier maybe to follow up and also because we share the flyers real time. So asanteni sana and have yourselves a very, very good night. And please become peace ambassadors. Yeah, that is the major lesson for tonight. Become Mkenya Daima. Oh yeah, our Ugandan counterparts. I know we have people from, I saw Jimmy from Uganda and I saw Brian. So thank you so much guys for being here. I know it's not an election period for you, but knowledge never hurt anyone. So thank you so much for joining us. I haven't seen anyone from Rwanda today, or maybe I didn't notice them. But yeah, so thank you guys for making the time to be here and we appreciate you. At least now you know what to do when it's your turn. And I know most of you from the East African, you're also managing the whole region. So I'm sure you know what to do. So yes, Mkenya Daima, let's preach peace. Let's become peace ambassadors. Have yourselves a lovely, lovely, lovely night. I forgot to say my name, Grace Nzula, moderator of choice. And yeah, see you next week. I don't know when, Monday or Tuesday or not. We'll see.